Rumi, the great Sufi sage, said, "You have no idea how hard I looked for a gift to bring you. Nothing seemed right. What's the point of bringing gold to a gold mine or water to the ocean? So I brought you a mirror. Look at yourself and remember me." Good morning, fellow Toastmaster, honored guests. On August 7th, the universe showed me my mirror, and I want to share that with you. I absolutely love watching the stars at night. On August 7th, it was a beautiful night for that. The moon was asleep. There were absolutely no clouds in the sky. And fortunately, my neighbors had their garage lights off. They're on 24 hours a day. That allowed me to see the stars. As I sat on my porch, on my deck in the backyard, I was immediately transported to the farthest reaches of the universe in a way that I had never experienced before. And I saw trillions and trillions and trillions of particles of space dust. Some as small as an atom, some as large as a universe. But they were space dust. And I've never felt such despair in my whole life. It was gut-wrenching. At that moment, I felt the despair. One of those little particles of dust actually left the dance that they were participating in. And I saw the whole flow of space particles fill in that one little niche. And that despair I felt turned into joy. It was absolutely amazing. Because the thing that I realized is that my value is not who I am. It's not what I do. It's not the money I make. It's not the car that I drive. It's the fact that I'm present. And what I realized at that moment is that if I didn't exist, the very fabric of the universe would be different. But it's not just me. It's you, and it's you, and it's you. If you did not exist, the fabric of the universe would be different. What does that all mean? Well, I'll tell you. I don't know. But let me share with you what I think it means. I'm going to take you back to September 1969. I'm a sophomore at Walsh Jesuit High School in English class. And before you do the math, yes, I am 56 years old. In that class, the English teacher had 9 books for us. And I hated reading. I hated it with a passion. And my grades reflected that. When he talked about the books, my first reaction was, I'm going to the bookstore to get the Cliff Notes. I was early for class the next week. Keith Scheibel was sitting right there. And he was so engrossed in a book, he didn't even see me come in. And I watched, and I looked, and he was reading this book. And the mirror that he showed me said, Ron, you're missing something. You need to read the book. So I said, not one I don't like to get hit in the head twice. So I took the lesson. I picked up the book. The first book was The Andromeda Strain. Michael Crichton. Have you read it? Outstanding book. And I read it and I said, oh my gosh, there's got to be more like that out there. There's got to be. The second book I picked up, Sid Author by Herman Hesse. I was so ignorant at that time. It was a book about Buddha. I thought it was historical fiction. I didn't know Buddha was real. The third book was the one that won me over, though. Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. Has anybody read it? The gentleman is absolutely determined that the woman has no value in this world at all, and it's his job to kill her. The world will be better if she's gone. The crime. He executes the crime. He did it so perfectly, everybody knew he did it, but they couldn't convict him. The punishment was the guilt that he felt because he realized he changed the fabric of the universe, and he had no right to do that. I was hooked. Since that time, I've read thousands of books. I make it a point, one of my goals every year is to try to read a book a week. I haven't been very successful recently. I have read a book a month. But what's amazing about that, seeing Keith Scheibel in 1969 in that English class not only got me interested in reading, but it led to me writing 4 books. Isn't that absolutely phenomenal? That one individual who has I don't even know the gentleman, we were acquaintances, changed my life so dramatically. Now think about that in Toastmasters for a minute. Beth, the speech you gave on depression when I first joined the club moved me deeply. The reaction of the club to her speech moved me deeply. It's what allowed me to take risks. It's what allowed me to progress as a speaker. The very presence of each one of you in this room has changed my life in a very good and a very positive way. Not because of who you are, not because of what you did, but by the very fact that you are here. Now, what I want you to think about is how your life is changing somebody else's life without even knowing about it. If you're a parent and you have kids, what would your life be like? If you had no kids, what would the kid's life be like if the parent wasn't there? The heart of today's meeting, or speech for me, was that the universe was my mirror on August 7th of 2008. Keith Scheibel was my mirror in September 1969. I hope just for a moment that I am your mirror today with this speech. Mr.